Hello, my loves. November is National Adoption Awareness Month. Now, what does that mean, right? Are they just promoting adoption? So it actually started in, I think it was 1976, where they began to just grow some more awareness around adoption and around the need for adoptive parents to adopt kids in foster care. Now, I was not in foster care, so I cannot speak to any of that. However, I am a very proud adoptee, and as an adoptee, I am very well aware and I know how painful and how beautiful adoption really is. And I say both because similar to how life has ups and downs and ebbs and flows, so does adoption. The pain and the trauma that come with adoption are not just for the adoptee. The birth mother. It is not an easy decision to, let alone separate, but also to give up someone you just birthed, someone who's been in your body for 9 months. All that love, nourishment you've been feeding that human, that soul, to just give it up. That's not easy. That's painful right there. And I've come across a lot of birth mothers who have not healed from that trauma and that pain. And it breaks my heart to see people still sitting in trauma and pain surrounding something like that. And I'm starting to cry because that hits home for me. I believe that there's still pain surrounding my birth mother, and if you're watching, I wish you all the healing and all the peace and all the joy and all the love and all the causes of all of that. I would stop and re-record this, however, that's what needed to come out, and I'm gonna keep going. So, there's a lot of pain for a woman to give up someone that they brought into this world. I personally have not given birth. I personally have not been pregnant, so I cannot speak to that. However, I can put myself in what the potential mindset of that would be. And the thought of doing that is just so brave and so courageous. And my opinion is based on an adoption that happened it was arranged before I was born, and I was very lucky and blessed to have had it done that way. I was on a plane 2 days later, 2 days after I was born. I was heading back home to LA with my parents. And I was raised with everything. I was given life on a silver platter. I was given a family of support and love. And I am so lucky. And I'm so grateful that that's how my life has been, because I know so many adoptees that weren't that lucky, that they have gone through many, many, many more challenges and struggles and traumas than I have. And I'm here to talk about my experience. And so it's a reminder that it's painful for everyone involved. It's painful for the birth mother, as I mentioned. It's painful for the adoptive parents, because unless you really don't want to physically have your own kids, most people who adopt can't physically have their own kids, which is what led them to adoption, which is how my parents became my adoptive parents. It's because my mom was being challenged and she couldn't have a baby naturally. And so there's a lot of pain and trauma surrounding adoption for the adoptee. And truthfully, I did not allow or let myself admit that until about 5 years ago. I kept telling myself, oh, I had a great adoption, I'm happy, I'm fine. I hadn't consciously made the link that I totally had trauma from my adoption. Being separated from the woman that brings you into this world is traumatic no matter what, no matter how you look at it. Some adoptees, some of my fellow adoptees don't look at it in that way, and that's fine, that's your choice. I personally believe that being separated from the one who brought you into this world is painful no matter what, whether you're consciously aware of it or subconsciously aware of it. There's a lot of healing that goes behind that too. So not until about age 26 maybe, is when I realized, wow, I have a serious fear of abandonment. I have a serious fear of rejection. I am a people pleaser and a shapeshifter, and I am so codependent. And I linked all of those back, rooted in my adoption, in the trauma of being separated from my birth mother. Now, mind you, this is no one's fault. I chose this. I spiritually believe that we decide our lives before we get here. And I know that a lot of people don't agree with that. I take ownership for this. I take ownership for every action that I've taken in this life. I chose this life, I chose this family, and I chose to be adopted into this family. Just like they chose me, I chose them right back. And I know that for some of my fellow adoptees out there, that's not the case. And I love you, and I see you, and I'm here whenever you want to talk, because there's a lot of healing and a lot of releasing that goes with acceptance. True, deep acceptance for whatever we're experiencing, for what we've gone through, for anything that we have chosen to experience or associate as being traumatic. There are healing techniques, and there are modalities, and there are practices that will help you. And I have been going through it for a very long time, and I am very grateful to share that with you. So if you want more info on that, I have coaching programs, I have retreats, I have live events, I have webinars and workshops, all surrounding healing adoptees and healing ourselves by being self-healers. On a completely other subject, I just want to shout out really quick to all of the potential adoptive parents. Please speak to adoptees before you adopt a child. Talk to me. Talk to one of the other fellow adoptees. There are a ton of adoptees on Instagram doing amazing things and bringing a ton of awareness to adoption. Talk to one of us. Ask us what would have helped earlier in our lives. Ask us what support might have helped. At the end of the day, adoption is beautiful, especially when a family is being open to being loving and supportive and bringing that child in as if they're their own. I have so much more to share on adoption. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at this. It's up to us adoptees to share our voices and share our experiences and our stories about how we got here today. It's up to us to share. Conversations heal. I love you all.